Hi, I'm going to tell you a bit today about our new Samsung washing machine. It's a WW6500 model, I think I've said that right, that we've got recently from AO. They delivered and took away our old one, which is something I should mention because that was super handy. But anyway, the model itself, as you can see, this is what it looks like. It's nice and modern, looks like a washing machine, can't complain about that. If you look a bit closer, you can see a bit closer up on the dial, and a lovely big door. But there we go. So basically the most important things about the washing machine obviously is functionality, but just a couple of other peripheral issues. The build quality I've been quite impressed with. I've never had a Samsung washer before, and actually it all feels really nice and solid and well put together. I'm quite confident it's not going to fall apart, which is lovely. But anyway, moving on to the washing then. Load size, this washing machine takes up to 8 kilos, so about a decent sized wash for a family. We're a family of 5, we've got no problem fitting that in, so not the largest on the market, but a good size anyway. It also has a spin up to 1600 RPM, although depending on which wash cycle you've selected, that's quite often reduced for quite a few of them. Then thinking about the programs, probably the next thing you want to hear about. If I'll zoom in a bit closer, you can have a look. As you can see, there's quite a few programs there, a lot more I know than I used to have on my old one. And we've tried a few of them so far, all the main ones, but you've pretty much got all of the stuff you'd expect, extra gentle ones for wool and synthetics, that sort of thing, along with a hot wash for stuff like bedding and so on. So a really good selection there, along with a couple of eco washes. For example, you can see there's an eco cotton one and also a super eco wash. Just to be aware that they are, obviously it's quite an energy efficient machine, but if you do choose those eco washes, they are fairly long compared to some of the other options. The reason we picked this one, as you can't see it terribly well, but this on the front is an extra door. They call it the AddWash door. That basically allows you, if you've already turned your washing machine on and you realise you've dropped a sock somewhere on the way down the hall, you can actually pop this open. Let me show you. It's just you just pause the wash, pop this open, and then you've got this extra little chute that you can tuck stuff in. Which is a bit of a gimmick, I suppose. It's not something you need to use all the time, but it is actually quite handy, especially when you suddenly realise that you should have put something in there that you've forgotten. And I have to say, I was a bit worried that it might be a bit flimsy or this might fall off, but as you can see, it actually all feels quite solid, and it connects quite well up at the top there. So I'm not worried about it leaking or anything like that, which is quite reassuring. In terms of features then of the wash, and if I come a bit closer over here, you can see, as I say, lots of wash settings, but you can also add in here changes to the temperature of the wash. You can turn it down from whatever it's standard for the program. You can change the number of rinses, have more or less than the planned one, and you can also turn the spin down from whatever maximum it sets it at. You can pick any of the others. It also has this additional feature of bubble soak, which is not something I've ever heard of before, but essentially the idea is that it pre-mixes the detergent out of the drawer with water before the wash actually starts. So rather than putting the detergent into the wash, it's actually mixing it up, creating the bubbles and putting the bubbles into the wash, which apparently lets it work quicker and gets a better clean. I mean, I have to say, I can't see a dramatic difference, but certainly I'm quite happy with the standard of the wash that we've got. Everything's come out just as clean as I'd expect, so I'm not entirely sure it makes a massive improvement, but it's certainly not a bad thing. As I say, the time is probably the only thing that has bothered me. The standard, if you see, it's turned to a standard cotton wash there, and the amount of time it's predicting is 3 hours and 20 minutes, which obviously is quite a long time for a wash, or at least certainly compared to my old machine. That's longer than I'd normally take. But you can look at other options like this, super speed, for example. So it's doing a wash in an hour there, which is obviously much handier if you're in a rush. The other thing that I would point out, when you in its initial factory settings, when you turn this on, it does make rather a lot of bings and tunes and beeps and alarms as it goes along, and when it finishes, it does what is something akin to a sort of mid 1990s Nokia ringtone for about 30 seconds. So we've actually turned that off. As you can see, we've got the little sign here saying that the sounds are off, and you just do that by holding these two. So you don't have to have that, but certainly I think we can all live without random tunes coming from our washing machine. So yeah, overall I have to say I've been really happy with the machine. It's done everything I wanted. It does a couple of things that are extra that, to be honest, I probably don't really need it to do, but if those sort of additional functions are your bag, or you wash a lot of different types of things, you do a lot of wool or synthetics, that sort of thing, it's obviously got all of those specialist settings should you need it. And overall, yeah, I think it's a pretty good washing machine. I'm very happy with it. So, go forth, and I hope you enjoy it too.